Hey everybody. So today is going to be a very light day. Lifted heavy yesterday, and tomorrow got a new thing that's going to be kind of cool that I'll definitely fill you in on. But the net result is that today, tired and sore, a bit stiff from activation from yesterday's workout. So I'm going to go very light today and focus more on making sure I have access to the soft and connected strengths that are a part of our Taikyoku Budo training paradigm. So let's get started. Oh, I should mention, today is a departure. Normally we're looking at like heavy lifting, explosive power, the whole gamut, right? Today is a softer day. We are focusing on a key aspect of the Taikyoku Budo framework. So previously we've done Ikkyoku, which is movements on a vertical plane up and down, and that's part of the first part of the Taikyoku Kuzushi. Now we're going to focus on Nikkyoku, so the second theme, which is going to be on a horizontal plane. So once we move past the initial sort of standing exercises, that's the theme we're going to be exploring today. Okay, back to you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I like to focus on standing practice, and it gets a rap. Standing is not something that's cool to watch by any means, but really the focus here is, can I breathe, and as I breathe, can I let the air sort of fill my body? And I'm connected enough in a way that as I breathe and pull in on the tissues, what's commonly called reverse breathing, it transmits out my hands. And if I keep working it, I'm able to stretch from the inside out. And so as I breathe and pull the tissues in, it comes out my hands, out my fingers. And then as I exhale and relax, it releases, and the stretch goes away. Now, what I want to do is I keep doing that. I want to make sure I'm sinking in as I breathe, and this is the opportunity too. Is kind of as I am able to feel that stretched tissue and make sure I'm not using local muscle, then I want to work on kind of holding that stretch with my intent once I've sort of worked it a bit with the breath. And now I'm continuing to breathe normally and just holding the stretch with my intention. And it's really that combined connective tissue under the skin that ultimately you're training with bone, muscle, and tissue to move the whole body. But this kind of connection strength is a part that you can train on its own. It can become very powerful and an aggregate part of your overall strengths. So with this, I'm holding that stretch, holding and letting the breath, I'll say, lightly transmit. I want to make sure that my breath and intent I can feel going through the body, out the fingers, from the hands on the ground, up through, out the fingers, to the top of my head, and sort of coordinated by my middle. And then as I do some more reverse breathing, and there's a really micro kind of open and close that I start to let be a bit more manifest through my hands and my fingers as I breathe and stretch. And then again, I go back to just kind of holding the position. Eventually, I want to get to a point though where just holding that stretch, I want to pause for a bit and keep breathing normally, and then I want to get to a point where I want to hold that and then open and close around the central axis of my spine, even as I continue to breathe normally and holding the stretch. And then I'm letting different parts of that stretched tissue sort of release and fill with the breath and intent as I move along the axis of my spine. Again, this is additional training of the whole body connection, that you need to be able to kind of stretch the insides to create a solid frame, while also moving along the axis of your spine from your legs and your trunk. That should be generating all the power. The rest is just connected and sort of coordinated. As I'm doing this, I want to take an opportunity to make sure I'm testing, am I staying stretched and connected? Am I starting to rely on any local muscle usage? And so as I'm moving, I'll pause just to do some quick checks along the way and make sure, okay, am I feeling tight? Am I moving the way I think I am? And I'll even just kind of test and touch the area to say, no, it's still connected and relaxed. And relaxed being relative, right? Relaxed and stretched. And as I do a few of those opens and closes, this becomes like a cloud hands exercise that in Japanese we call kumote. The Chinese have their own version of cloud hands exercise. I'll test it with a lightweight, 10-pound kettlebell, just to see, can I just stay connected and not using local strength? And I'll even try and just like a open and close, can I transmit those strengths through my body? And then I'll move up in a weight to get to more of the 40 pounds, which is more to wrestle, but at the same time, I want to let my frame take the load and still open and close the body based on moving around the spine from the legs and the trunk through my middle, while the upper body just stays connected and stretched. So I'll do a few of those, and you'll see the weights going from one foot into the other. It's a good cross-training exercise. And then when I'm done with that, I want to shake out the body and go back to just having as relaxed, as stretched as I can, making sure that moving with that weight didn't create any undue tension or anything that I can't quickly navigate around. And so that's it. As I said, a very light and easy series of movements today, but doing something like that every day, just as you're working on building those connected strengths, can add up a lot of benefit over time. You don't need to spend a ton of time once you start to develop those basic connections, but you want to do it consistently. Like any other kind of exercise or training paradigm, consistency is key. All right, that's it for today. Happy training.